3 minutes past, so let's get started. Welcome everybody to the May 12th, 2026 SIG Multicluster call. I kicked off all the AI transcribers and so on. And we have a couple of topics today. The first one from the Scrub, which is Arthur's, so not Arthur's latest kit, but the slightly older one, cluster selection for multi-cluster services. Then it felt like, well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
been open for a while. We need to make some progress
yeah,
on it.
yeah. Just wanted to like pull this back up and figure out what we need next. I think it's been like open for review, and also to remind folks, this was one that we had quite a few like pre-design doc kind of like discussions about. There was like a Google Doc with a couple different tabs, if I even recall, that eventually got to this. So there is some I don't know, not prior art exactly, but there was some preamble, I guess, that led to this. So, but yeah, Arthur, if there's anything else that you're like waiting for, or that you're looking for a specific focus on, please holler. But I think that is probably where it stands, and wanted to raise it to everybody's attention again.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I believe it's pretty much up for review. I wanted also to touch base to SIG Network, but I believe it should have like a first round of review between us.
Gotcha.
And yeah, potentially there is also the sell aspect and all of that,
Yeah.
which is mainly at a later point, but we probably need to go to API machinery to get some guidance or find other folks that have expertise in that. I know that, well, I mean, it's adjacent to that, but Cilium has some initiative to have cell in network policy within, not with the standard API of network policy, but well, it means that potentially I could grab some info along that they are doing it. But yeah, it's later on.
Yeah, I think there's some discussion in network policy about adding cell as well, officially.
Oh, cool.
But if I remember last time I chatted with Dan Winship about it was still probably a long way off.
I see.
But
In Cilium, I think they want to compile expression to BPF somehow, uh,
all
which
right,
I
yeah,
mean
that
looks
would make sense for
interesting.
ceiling. Yeah.
But yeah, well, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
just adding a hold here so that we don't accidentally merge it before
yeah,
asking
sure.
SIG network to.
Just so that it's not confusing, it's waiting for first round of like SIG multicluster review and then like
Yeah.
going to SIG network if they are interested in reviewing this or any comments.
Six.
Hopefully that's clearer. Mm,
Okay, I commented on it too with some of the things we just said.
all right.
Oh God, I
Cool.
commented on the
Thanks.
issue instead of on the PR.
Oh,
No, I will fix that.
well, I mean, technically it's okay, I guess. Oh,
Yeah, but I
yeah.
want it
Yeah,
to
I
be
was
on the PR so people can see
don't
it.
miss it. No.
I'll cross post it. Maximum commentage.
Um, I don't want to eject this, but there's also some couple of comments from you on the other smaller cap on MCS API that I made. I don't know know if you want to talk about this right now or can do it
Yeah,
later, I guess.
we can as part of the. Let's see, where was it? This one here.
Yeah. So yeah, let us,
Comments
Laura, you
here.
mentioned that we needed
Yeah,
probably to talk to other implementations. And I don't know if you saw my comment about maybe doing that when the API is ready.
yeah, it's a bit of a chicken and egg problem, as
Yes.
always. It would be good to get feedback before the API is updated, but it's hard to get feedback without the API. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's worth it, like without the API.
yeah, and we've done it for some
Right.
other kept changes.
Yeah,
Uh, there was somewhere we had a list of checkboxes and some reader ticked it
right.
Celium. Yeah, Arthur did it for Celium, and I think Ryan asked folks for like Karmada and so on as well.
Yeah. And I think, and to the second half of my comment back then for that one, that like dragged it out like a really long time, which maybe
Yeah,
was fine for that case. But I do think due to the like like well like
Enforcement must.
or no, just how the blast radius of this change, I guess. The fact that it's a
Ah,
groundbreaking change, that like we don't have to like wait so
okay.
long,
yeah,
but we could try a little harder, I guess, is what I wanted to get across by that second half of the comment.
Okay, so should we do it before or after?
I still think we should do it
yeah,
before. I think we should at least send out an email on the SIG-MC mailing list. I think it would be even better if we opened up a discussion or issue on the like individual implementations for open source or like do a Slack connect with somebody that we know otherwise. But that's my opinion. So
Should we like do it in a way to convey all the info that I've stated, like that, hey, the conformance test has made some progress and you probably want to check it out. Plus, I don't know, some recent features like even beta v1 and stuff like that. Like latest
good,
advancement to
yeah,
MCC
good
API.
question. That might be too much to just because I don't know, but also maybe that's fine. Steven, do you have an opinion?
yeah. In my experience, if you ask several things in the same communication, you only get answers to one of them. Um,
Sure.
so yeah, I think it'd be best to. It'd be good, I think, to communicate about the conformance uh, suite as well, and that's the next topic. But I think for this, maybe what we can do is if we have um, GitHub handles of people we know,
You can contact
we
on
could
default.
contact first. We could just CC them
Oh yeah, sure.
on the pull request itself and ask them if they want to review with the 2 week deadline, and say that if no answer is just
Yeah, the
acceptance,
lazy
and that's fine.
consensus.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's a consensus.
Yeah, okay. So, um, what do we consider as MCS MPI implementation? Like there is on Tria, not Submarine and Cilium, but I think it's covered. Um,
I think it should be the ones that are on the website.
wait, let's see.
They are
Um, Yeah, so Google Cloud, AWS, but I don't know if we consider them as active anymore, and there is Antria. We can still open an issue on the AWS repo, I guess. And Karmada, I think they are only a consumer and mainly using Submariner
Yeah.
as a primary provider, I guess. If I
Yeah.
understand correctly. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I can open an issue on AWS and Antria to. So wait, what do I say? You said one info, right? So
Well, so if you want to open an issue, then do it just for this. Say, we believe you implement MCS API. There's a forthcoming change
okay,
that we'd like you to be aware of. If you have
okay,
any feedback, you've got 2 weeks to do it over here.
okay. And I will try to ask for like a contact point if like they want to be pinged directly on the PR or something like that in the same shape.
Yeah.
Also, I guess. Oh, I would. Well, I don't do it, and I just ping the guy that answered going forward or something like that. But yeah, no, I think I will ask it. Okay.
Okay. And well, let me see. Yeah. Then so the only actual topic was conformance reports. So there's a few things going on there. Look here. Anupam's got a few PRs open. Or did they get merged? No. This one here. That creates the layout. So I think this is the PR is actually okay. Oh no, this is an issue. But there's a
Yes, this one I think.
that's the PR. I think the PR is okay. What I was hoping to do was to actually get a proper conformance report from 050 with so Submariner, but that's not ready yet, or Cilium if it's ready. The issue there is that 050 switched to V1 Beta 1 wholesale, and so implementations have to switch to V1 Beta 1 as well before they can get a conformance report and submit it.
Yeah, theoretically, I have one from Cilium, but it's actually I think we release version soon, but it's basically on the main tree, and we release every 6 months.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we even want to accept something like that.
Yeah, it was just to see what it's like with real world reports. And yeah, I agree with your comment that the having the HTML file as well could be useful.
Yeah, because it's right now it's a mix. Like, so we generate the YAML, but we only provide basic info out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you can, as like a user, pull up the two YAML and compare it, because probably, well, I don't know if even like the order of the object are consistent in the YAML. Possibly yes, but I'm not pretty sure. And well,
Yeah.
even if it is, there's like 100 line of YAML versus like a matrix of 20 line ish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. It's easier to compare visually using the HTML reports.
And as of Cilium, so we had a pre-release last week, which contained the v1 beta 1. So technically, I could pull up like a conformance report out of it if you want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I
that
don't
would
know if
be
you want.
interesting. Yeah. If you open a separate PR with that, following the layout that's described here, and we can
Uh,
see how it works.
you mean like,
In whatever the directory was supposed to be.
but like, how should it relate to the existing PR? Like it's something separate, something with
Yeah, it would be a
different
separate
boundary?
PR,
Okay.
and so
Uh,
that would mean there'd be some manual work just to test the two together, but it would
and
provide
there
more.
there is one caveat though. I'm actually, I'm not sure if it's perfectly aligned to 0.5.0. For instance, I guess the flag are not parsed yet and things like that. But if we accept the main version, it should be, I can adapt it quickly and submit it. If not, I can adapt it potentially, but I need to check.
All right, so you mean it would be like conformance reports, conformance slash report slash main slash cilium?
Uh, I mean, depends how you want to present it, but I can make it like the next pre-release that we will release, but well, I mean, okay, we have 120-3.2. I
Oh, okay,
can
on the
say,
cilium side of things. Right.
yeah, I can
Yeah.
say that I can merge it in main and I can preemptively say it's 3.3 even if we are not releasing it. If you want to have
Yeah.
something, or just saying main and I will update it when it's
When
uh,
it's actually released. Yeah,
yeah,
just
which
yeah.
is like in 2 months or so.
Yeah, or use the Git description thing. That way there's a date in it as well. And a reference to the actual commit that was tested, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not?
It's a bit
But
unwieldy,
okay,
but
yeah.
it's temporary.
Sure, I will do it. I will need to adapt a bit like launching the conformance test and all because I don't pass the like the flag to say, hey, this is this implementation, and I don't also collect the
Yeah,
YAML import in RCI currently. But
yeah,
it's a relatively small change that I can do soon enough actually.
yeah. Okay, all right, thanks. So that's yeah. So once we've got that with some reports just to make sure that it looks sensible, we can merge that, and the next step will be adding PR automation so that PRs that add reports like this run the website generation so that it can be previewed and probably have some uh, sanity checks
Hmm.
on the YAML. So things
There's
like
also the little badge on the implementation that we probably want, but it can be added manually, I
yeah,
guess. Like under Submariner, you would want probably like conformant as of I don't know, Submariner X version and MCS API X version or something like that. Gateway API
yeah,
does as well.
yeah. That's a good point. So that would go. Uh, yeah, we can do that manually at least. Uh, so future let's just so future steps are
Well, I'm like the GitHub automation could just
Efficiency.
check if they are done, because I mean the peer submitters could run make, I guess. Well, I don't know if that's the point of it, but
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, well, that's always. Yeah, it's always best if you can also run it locally. That's true. So, ideally, using something.
well, like the matrix could either be like not committed and it should be run into the like rendering of the
Yeah.
website. I don't know how it does work, or like just when you submit the PR, you run make and just something that quickly check it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, handle badges on implementation somehow, and then later on there'll be more uh, to well, yeah, to expire old entries.
For the
Mm,
for the badges, are you thinking about like the kind that the implementation would put on their README that then like links to a build or something?
uh, mm, something like that, but
Okay,
wait, find
All
it.
right, okay, so there's yes, two different
Like
things.
if you,
So what I had in mind was more in the list of implementations on
yeah,
the
okay.
website.
gotcha.
Like there's a little batch gateway API conformance v something and
Right.
region gateway or something like that, probably.
I think this one's easier, at least.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 And well, this is like an adjacent question, but I guess there might be some, well, potential issue with, for instance, Google implementation, because like you use um, an API group, well, a kind that is different or something, and
Right.
conformances doesn't support that. So it's
Mm.
probably like a 1 year, well, 6 months to 1 year issue, but at some point you probably want to either like make the conformances support it, or that you
Yeah.
also
I think
support
there's an issue open for
Kubernetes
that
system.
somewhere.
Yeah, there is an old issue for that open somewhere.
Yeah, it's on the MCC API repo.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, I mean,
But
it is
yeah,
true that they cannot pass the conformance test
as it's currently defined.
as it's currently defined. So that is the fact.
yeah, and should we like should it be confirmed that someone that doesn't use the official service import and service export to pass it?
Depends on which conformance we're testing. Are we testing that they're using those specific APIs, or are we testing that they're conformant to MCS? Well, that is, of course, that API, but it depends on what we're testing.
Yeah, the behavior or the API.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
So I think it'd be good to test it, but then in the conformance report, it would be flagged as using a different group and kind.
It would just be informational, yeah, because that it could influence the behavior of human operators if they're going about, say, manual checks or manual intervention, and they expect resources to be in a specific group, but they're in a different group. I mean, it shouldn't happen
Yeah.
because otherwise it wouldn't work at all. But yeah, it's not MCS API's problem, I suppose, but it could be a informational thing where you say, well, compatible, it will work,
Yeah.
it will do the thing it needs to do. It's not doing it exactly the same way as everyone else does it.
Yeah. Yeah, it means that you can, if you have something that works using MCS API, you can adapt it fairly quickly to work on GKE as well. But
Yeah, and you get the benefit of if at some point it would become mandatory, everyone who's almost fully compliant would then only have a small hurdle to take if they want to take
yeah,
to the next level, essentially.
Well, there's still a question that if like consumers support MCS API, they also need to specifically support those other version. For instance, like Envoy Proxy that does support MCS API, I don't know if they are supporting Google MCS API, but they would have some kind of
yeah.
other if and stuff like that.
It's obviously it's not ideal, but
Yeah, it's something.
it's something, and I think having if having it in the conformance suite means that we can encourage implementers that have slight variants like that to keep aligned with the API features at least. And then
I don't
hopefully
mind.
at some
But
point
it also,
switch to the official API.
yeah, it also depends on what change it actually needed on the conformance test. I think Tom had like some comment around that. I don't fully understand what it means, but some kind of thing with a dynamic client and all of that. So
Yeah.
could also be good to have his opinion of, well, I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
this is how it
it
changed,
would,
but it's
yeah, it'd be a fair amount of effort uh, to support this in the conformance suite.
Hmm.
Because essentially, instead of using the generated client, you'd have to use the dynamic client all the time and convert
Because
back and forth from.
for instance, we could say we can accept the conformance report, but Google has to maintain a fork of it, and we should like quickly check there is no like hard divergence in this report or something like that.
Oh, all right. They would have to maintain. They would have to fork the conformance suite. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, and replace API by their own or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's see. Switching. So either by switching to the dynamic.
Yeah, that would be similar to something I'm doing in Argo workflows, where you need to validate a resource, and if you're replacing a CRD, you don't want to validate against the old CRD, but against the new CRD. So I think there's this kubectl validate add-on, and it will by default look at your API server for the correct CRDs. But if you give it an override path, it will still give you the validation results, but for your overridden CRD. And essentially, that's a behavior that allows you to use the functionality. And in this case, it would be using a test suite, but um, you could substitute components, but it should be reflected in the report. Otherwise, you might just accidentally spoof your
Mm-hmm.
results. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So, Laura, do you have a way like to have someone from Google to talk about all of this and what they actually prefer?
Yeah, I will pass this along.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah. So we know what we need to do next, right? And that's the end of the topics. Does anybody else have anything to discuss? All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining, and have a good rest of the week, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Have a
Bye.
good day.
Thank you. Bye bye.